Welcome to my kitchen slash living room slash great room, not so great. It's downstairs, Derek's house, Velocity RC Cars Magazine. I'm here to talk about stuff. Do I have a plan? I never have a plan. I just put some lights up and babble. Blech, comes out. You may watch, you may not. I don't care. Here we are. It's Christmas time. There's a tree behind me. You'd be watching this in the summer. It was Christmas time. It's still valid. I want to talk about stuff from the past. The retro movement and how retro movements become not retro, become back to normal or popular. It's because you may be old. See this gray hair? That means I have stuff from the past. Not all of it's good. A lot of closets. But I've been around in RC for longer than I really care to think about it this year. 40 years. And some people have been in it longer. My first car, Tamiya Falcon. Do I want one? Yes. Do I want to build it for what? I don't know. To be honest with you, it's not that great of a car anymore. 40 years ago, it was sick. Today, I'd build it, paint it pink like I did when I was, 12. That's a cool color at the time. Talk about skateboards. I went to look for my old Caballero deck. I couldn't even remember which board I had. I had to think about it. I still don't know. But those decks are really expensive now, especially the originals. So when you get to an age where you want to relive your childhood, like when you got your first kit, when you got your first race car, whatever it was, you think about buying that shit again. And then you look at it and you go, oh shit, this is expensive. And hopefully you can afford it, because sometimes it's cool to have things that when you grew up with, or you didn't have, or you wish you had it. Man, I wish I had Caballero deck, an RC10 Gold Tub original, an Ultima Pro, an Optima Mid. What else is all this stuff coming out from the past that's back? Grasshoppers are back in fad, whatever. Mini grasshoppers, big grasshoppers. Everything's here. Full circle. It's like Happy Gilmore all over again. My first race car that I bought and got for Christmas. Thanks, Mom. First of all, I borrowed my friend's Ultima after he got the Pro. But my first kit I got for Christmas was an RC10 Gold Tub, the original. 6 gears, went together like garbage, made in the US. At the time, RC was about modification, so you bought that kit and you changed basically every part on the car. Originally you didn't, but as technology and racing became bigger, you got wider arms, you got better shocks, you got a better transmission, you got a slipper clutch, you got a ball diff, you got all this stuff, and you basically replaced the entire car, except for maybe the chassis. But most of the time, you replaced, I'm looking at something, yes, the whole kit. So Associated has released an original replica of the Gold Tub. And at one point they had a jellyfish of a prototype of a car, and they've done it again. And I ordered one. To be honest with you, I was on the toilet and they got the press release and it said you can put one on standby. So I put my name in to order it, and then it said, hey, your order's ready, so I got it. So here it is. For you new kids, probably could give 2 shits about this thing. And you probably don't even know what it is. This is an RC10, the original RC10. You race things that are basically loosely based on this name. Nothing on this kit is probably the same anymore. It's not even made. The original kit was made in America. This one's designed in the US. It's like Apple Watches. But anyway, here nor there on where it's made. Originally, this was a US made kit. You had to do a lot of things to make this, for the time, amazing car, super competitive. You had to work on this. Like clean it off and dust it off with our fancy carpet crap that we race on today. You race this in dirt, real dirt, had knobbies, and it got dirty. And to make it work, you had to have a reamer. You had to have more than the little Allen wrench, the L that probably is in here, which nobody uses, but maybe they left them out. But that's what I worked on stuff when I was a kid. Those stupid little 6 gears, you had to replace them eventually with black ones with the tiniest little Allen wrench. I don't even remember what the metric or the standard thing is, 1/32 or 1/16. I don't know, it was super tiny. And as a kid with no real mechanical skill and you're learning that stuff, you could strip those little heads out and then you're screwed. Because I didn't have a Dremel back then. I had a Radio Shack soldering iron and L wrenches, and that's it. And then whatever wrench came with this, but you didn't even have that. The wheels came with little knockoffs. So my thought is, we're just going to talk about this a little bit. Should I build it or leave it in the box? So I'm going to answer that question right now, because in the future, since you had to be fairly old to even care about this car, nobody's going to care about the car. This isn't a modern car that is going to be nostalgic for a generation coming up now. It's nostalgic for my generation. Maybe a couple generations after, or somebody that's super into RC history may be like, man, that was an amazing era. It's like the golden age of skateboarding, everything. I think it's just because our generation thinks we were amazing. We pretty much invented everything and perfected it. Kids with your PlayStations, we had to play on Nintendo and Atari and Coleco and all that crap. So obviously I'm not going to leave this factory sealed because I wanted to see the inside. And I think I'm going to build it. But maybe somebody will convince me not to, but you're probably not going to. Because I built this when I was a kid, and did I ever have, I'm trying to remember if I ever raced a version after that, because I switched to low C. So I kind of never really built a team car or anything like that. I don't think, anyway. Getting old, I forget all this stuff. But anyway, this isn't in a kit that I think you want to run eventually. I think this is a giant model. And all the stuff in here is molded clear plastic. I'm assuming ABS. The original, that was cool, was when they did a SLA version of one of their kits, and I don't think it was this. I think it was like a B3 or something like that, where they kind of displayed the prototype in clear, and everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. So obviously, that's what we got. And we got the transmission. It doesn't have 32-pitch gears anymore. I do see 6 gears inside with 2 different materials. Metal bushings, great. I mean, they went full retro. I'm assuming there's some felt covers for the big bushings on the outside. Original tires, they feel pretty firm, so I'm guessing no foam, because that's what we didn't have foam back then. They didn't even invent that. Kidding. But eventually we had foam once it went through there. Dog bones. I do remember when I was a kid, I had one with a mechanical swiper arm for a speed control. We didn't have electronic back then. We had a resistor. Some history for you kids. I'm gonna bet that this builds a little better than the past, although if you're gonna go straight nostalgia, you might as well have me cut the tie rods too. You used to just get a tie rod that you had to cut. Yeah, that's how great technology was back then. But anyway, clear silver chassis. I mean, this is, I can't call it a gold chassis anymore. This feels, I mean, maybe I haven't felt this in a while. It feels a little thinner, lighter. I feel like the original chassis was much heavier, but I could be wrong because I haven't touched a virgin RC10 chassis in quite a while. So, I don't know. It has to be thinner, because at a time we used to mill, not me, people with fancy machines and stuff used to mill weight off this to make it lighter. So there's no way you could mill this. This looks like maybe 1 millimeter thick stamp. And I don't think the material's the same, but I could be wrong. Somebody can fact check me on that. Again, I do zero research. I don't know if you know that. I just open it and go, hey, this is something that we're doing. And this is no different. So, old guys, unite. Do you paint the body or not paint the body? Do you just put stickers on it? What are we doing? Paint half of it? What do you think we should do with this? And do I even put electronics in? My answer is probably going to be no. Although I have a lot of electronics just sitting there doing nothing in a drawer, so I guess they could do nothing sitting in a chassis. But this is more of a display. You probably can run this if you're weird, you're old and weird. You can run it. I can't do a strength test, but it'll probably hold up to some mild abuse. I wouldn't be hammering on it, but if you want to try to give it a, hey, this is what 10 miles an hour when I was a kid, or hour fast, or not fast, we went back then. Anyway, you may still be able to order these. It's the RC10 Classic Clear Edition. I got one. Wasn't cheap. I think it was $400. Which is more expensive than a new kit with bearings. So value-wise, I mean, you're just appealing to older people with $4 free dollars to throw at something they're never going to use. I have a lot of that stuff, but it's not the best deal. The wing wire is pre-bent. Used to have to bend that yourself. That was always like, everybody had crooked wheels, especially if you were 10 when you built this or whatever, however old it was. Not very good at building things symmetrically. But that's it. This is a short video. I haven't done one in a while. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Congratulations on your graduation, your job promotion. Sorry you got fired. Catching up from a lot of stuff since I haven't done a video in a while. And if you don't follow me, it doesn't matter. There's no chronological order to any of this crap. I will say that this brings a lot of memories of how my RC10 went through an evolution with me, as it started as an off-roader, went to wide arms, went to trailing arms, went to an indoor on-road with foam tires, no suspension, in Bristol, Connecticut, racing in the YMCA in the basement. Did it go any farther than that? No. We did used to, me and my friend Dave, we dyed all our parts. One was blue, his was red, when everybody was into dye and dyeing their factory white parts a different color instead of black. That was the fun part of this in the past, is that you actually had to do so much to it, you did stuff to it. A modern, if you bought the whatever B4.96er that's out now, you really don't do anything. It's like a perfect kit out of the box. People don't make option parts for it anymore. And if they are, it's just kind of like an aluminum version of this, or a diff that's lighter, or a slipper that has some holes in it that is more linear. The craft of making your car better and different is kind of gone, which is cool. You don't have to worry about if you can bend wire correctly or mill out the holes and do all that stuff. So this is kind of why us old people like this, and why I think it wouldn't matter if I left this in a box, because us old people in 20 years, when this would somehow become a classic, it wouldn't be a classic because we already have it. And you'd have a B6, B4, 9. I don't even know what the current one is. They come out with new dots all the time, which is fine. I would just prefer you put the year in the dot, like RC10 23. So I knew what year it was out. That'd make it easier. That's my tip for the day. Anyway, Velocity RC Cars Magazine. I don't know. We do some videos. Not all about RC cars. Do some car videos, do some Harley videos. Whatever. Just watch it, let it play. Like, share, subscribe. Send me a message, I answer them. If you're a smart ass, I'm a smart ass. If you're nice, I'm nice. I kind of just mirror you back. So, I'm gonna do a build video soon of me building this, which is also pretty boring. I don't like watching people build stuff, so I build parts and talk about it. So stay tuned for that. See you soon. I'm out. I can turn this off. Thought this would stay on my watch. Hopefully this is still recording. Can't tell. Let's look at my watch.